What's up and good morning, guys? Welcome back to another video. It is freezing this morning out here. Freezing for me, probably not freezing for you guys who experience winter, but yeah, we don't really get those out here. So a lot of you guys are gonna be pleased to know we are jumping back on some ranch projects. So for those of you that are into that, you're gonna enjoy these videos.
Buenos días.
Hola, buenos días.
Es pinche frío, chava. Sí. ¿Dónde quieren the troque? Tiene todo de Stucco.
What's up, baby goat? Good morning. Good to see you. Bubs, you doing good, buddy? Looks like my Grand Canyon got washed away again a little bit here. We're gonna fill that back in today. Good to see you. Oh, yep. Good to see you, buddy. Good to see you. Baby goat is not so baby anymore. I mean, look at that. She is almost as tall as Bubs there. I know you want some more camera attention. There you go. You got it. So I got a lot of bags of Stucco in the truck. Don't eat them, okay? Well, and Bubs is pooping, so he's making room for the Stucco. Oh, shit. She's gonna tackle me? We'll have a little battle. Are you going up on load? You're just climbing on the tailgate. You're not sure? You just like a big old dog, huh? Yeah, you just like a big old dog. Okay, guys, so we're going to be stuccoing the guest house walls today. Well, we're gonna be doing our scratch coat first. You're supposed to let it cure for like a week, then stucco over it. We're just going with a white stucco right now because I didn't want to try to match that, not knowing what we're going to do in the future. So the walls are going to look different than the house, which is going to be okay. But I have a feeling the animals are going to tear this stuff up. So I'm not like super concerned on this being like spot on freaking perfect. So you guys can see the animals have access to this side of the wall. We're obviously going to be stuccoing both sides of the wall, but I can already envision the donkeys using like this top surface of the wall here to scratch their face and so forth. I was gonna go with a synthetic stucco, which I believe will hold up to that a lot better. The supply house I went to yesterday after hours didn't have it, and I was not gonna make it to the other one in time, so we just ended up going for a standard regular stucco. We'll see. Oh geez. Oh well, hold on. You guys gotta go. Can't be in here. Nope. Yep, out that way. Go. There we go. So synthetic stucco is like, it's almost got like a plasticky polymer feel to it. It is superior in every way, shape, or form. It is also about 3 to 5 times the cost, depending on where you go. Where are you going? Jeez. Can't even get a sentence in. Keeping these guys out of the yard. And then we got the baby donkey, just because, well, you're one of the more curious ones too. See you, you're looking nice and extra fluffy today. Now, while those guys are getting started on the wall over there, we are gonna get the Mini X fired up, and I've come to just accept the fact that the Mini X battery needs to be replaced. So I've got the no-code jump box, and we are just bringing that right off the bat versus trying to start it and then having to go track this thing down. And we got a little bit of that go-go juice for her. And we'll be swapping out the brush cutter, put the bucket back on, and oof, looks like the bucket is full of water there. I used this thing the other day and I was able to brush cut a mile of fence line in like 4 hours. Now granted, it's pretty well maintained out there, so it's not like gnarly, crazy, never been touched brush, but that thing is definitely worth its weight in gold. Whew. Oh no. Oh, why did I know that was gonna happen? It's cold out here, guys. That is not a flexible hose right now. This is gonna get a little messy. Let's go get her right up on in there. Oh, jeez. Oh. All right. Could be worse. 5 gallons is in, and that'll last us pretty much all day today. So the one thing I don't know how to do is I don't know how to bleed the hydraulic pressure off of this thing. On other machines I've used, you just like toggle the hydraulics back and forth a few times with the machine off, and that like bleeds out the pressure. This is not the case on this thing, and I've looked up everywhere how to do it. Cannot find it, and I normally, but the one time I've used this, I've actually had to resort to just cracking the hydraulic hose to bleed out the pressure. I hope that's not the case right now, but I don't know. I'm gonna lower it down a little bit, and then they put the windshield washer reservoir right in the way. Gotta move that out of the way. Get you down in there. All right, here we go. Come on, girl. There we go. This no-code jump box has been a freaking lifesaver. Love this thing. And then in case anybody wonders what Bobcat did with their old throttle handles before they switched over to the knobs, they found a use for them. You guys are cranking along already. You can see Poppy's already gone ahead and put the brown coat on, or scratch coat. I mean, technically scratch coat, brown coat, it's originally 2 different things. Basically, we throw a coat of this first, and typically what you would use is like a mortar or something like that, like spec mix. Basically the mortar that we use to actually lay the block itself. However, there are some new products out, like we have over here. Got this Master Seal, used to be called Thorough Seal. This is like a waterproof coating. So it's basically the same thing as putting mortar on there. However, it's got some waterproof properties to it. I don't know, it's just a better way to do it. Significantly more expensive. Those are like 60 bucks a bag to a sack of mortar that's like, I don't even know nowadays, $8 a bag, something like that. Now again, typically you'd like to let, you know, do this coat and then you let it sit for like a week, you let it crack, and then you come over with your color coat, which is the actual finish of the stucco that you see like on the building back there behind me. In the essence of just getting it done, we're just gonna roll through with it. We're gonna scratch and brown today, and then we're going to color right after. Now, my plan with the Mini X is back when we, shoot, I think I just first bought this place, and I had the Mini X out here when we were doing all the post holes for the fence that we had to repair. I had zero equipment out here, zero tractors or anything like that. So while I had it here, I widened this area right here. This slope used to come down to about right there, and you couldn't drive anything through here. So now that we have the garage there, I like to back up my vehicles here. Obviously, we still have the pen here. If you guys have not heard yet, unfortunately, Barbecue the pig has died. We believe it's of old age. We're not sure. She was one of the animals we did not know her age on. Seemed fine and normal, and then one night she just seemed a little bit out of it, and then just like that was dead. Very unfortunate. She was a freaking cool pig, but we're gonna leave the pen here for a little while. We're not quite ready to tear this out because I don't want the animals up against the house and the garage or anything like that. So until we're ready for the plan of what's gonna come off of the garage and the driveway for the guest house and all that, this is gonna stay. So basically, when I back my truck up here to load tools or unload tools out of the garage, this gate swings in the way and it blocks everything. So I wanna widen this cut right here to probably about here. That way you can pull vehicles in, and it'll make it nicer to be able to pull vehicles in, make the turn, drive up around the side of the guest house wall there. And while we're over here, we're gonna fill in all this stuff that gets damaged every time it rains here. We really do got to figure out a better flow plan for this, because basically what it does is all the water comes from that side of the property, from the property back there. And it comes about that little dam that we built right there, comes around. There's a little ridge right here. You'll be able to see where it comes down. This little berm does really well at keeping the water from just flowing over here and going like crazy. So the water all hits here from, I mean, a lot of land, flows around this tree, comes down here, and for a while was going out that way and completely rutting this out. And you weren't able to pass with like wheelbarrows and stuff when we pick up all the animal poop. So I diverted it this way, which then you can see brings it around here. And really starting to figure out where the water goes here, which is cool because that means we can mitigate it. And then the water kind of flows here, and then there's a little V right there that the water finds its way all the way out to the edge of the property. And then this tree that fell in a storm a while back, we need to get that out of there too. So we're gonna break this up, and we'll end up throwing it in the dump trailer, and then eventually taking it out to our burn pile. And then I believe we're finally in the time of year that we can actually get a burn permit. Never done that before, but we're gonna get a burn permit out here. We've got a giant pile of stuff that we're gonna burn at some point in one of these videos, so I think that's gonna be pretty cool. All right, let's lay the boom down here so we can actually reach the hydraulic fittings. Hopefully, because she's been sitting for a while, maybe the hydraulic pressure bled itself out, but I don't think that's how that works. Oh, we have a revelation. Now can we do that again? Woo! Okay, we'll hook our hydraulic thumb back up. And we grab our bucket. Now, one thing that worries me a little bit is there is a water line that runs through here to the main house. I believe it's like about here, but then there's also a spigot right there where you see that lumber sticking up. That's basically to protect it. The previous owners had a bunch of horses that love to turn on spigots, and I'm sure the donkeys do as well. So there is a piece of PVC running up with a spigot right there. I don't know where that pipe comes from. Hopefully it is very deep and doesn't like ramp up in this slope right here. We're gonna find out one way or another. It's been a while since old Rhino's hit a water line. I think we ought to come to about here. Then we'll be able to use all of this dirt to fill in that Grand Canyon over there. The good news is it has been very wet out here, so we're not gonna get real dusty, and we'll be able to recompact this dirt. And well, we found the water line. Yikes. Okay, that's an emergency. You know, sometimes I should just keep my mouth shut. So we turned the main to the guest house off. Oh, this is not fun. That looks like 1.25 inch pipe. maybe 1 inch. I don't know if I have any of that around here. You see guys, this is why I bury my pipe deep. Use that innuendo as you will. When we ran the water line off the guest house to the animal stalls, if you guys recall, I buried that like almost 4 feet deep. That way, if you're ever running through here with tractors over the years, it's gonna take many years of you digging down and grading to ever get anywhere near that pipe. This was like almost at the surface. I get it takes a little longer to dig deeper, but it's not that bad. What do we got here? 1 inch PVC. Well, now I get to dig this up and find where it came from, and unfortunately it looks like I ripped the pipe from back there a little bit, so we're gonna have to excavate a little bit that way, excavate a little bit this way. We ripped out a good section. It looks like it was right at a coupling too. Yikes, hopefully that's not like a T or something. It might be a T. It might have teed off to go up that way. I don't need that spigot anymore, so if that's the case, that's getting ripped out. This is gonna make for an interesting day. Can you bring a stick of 1 inch PVC too, and some couplings? A stick of 1 inch, and then I would just grab couple of 1 inch couplings and maybe a slip fix. Just grab a couple of different fittings so we have them, because I haven't dug up where it came from yet. Papa Rhino is gonna be heading up here, so I gave him a quick call to grab a couple of 1 inch PVC pipes. We're improvising here. We're running a bunch of hoses from the main house here out to the guest house. That way it won't chava still have some water. It was a big blunder on my end today. ¿Es este mejor de verde or?
De verde no tiene pulgazo.
Oh, sí. ¿Es todo? Oh, no bueno. No, necesito más. Tiene de mangueras de grandes para allá, pero es muy grande. Okay, a couple 100 feet of hose later, we should have water here. This hose sucks, but let's see if we don't have any kinks all the way back up to the guest house. All right, we've got water flowing over here. It means these guys can keep going. They got their water. We gotta go dig this up. Okay, try to find this side. We don't really want to pull this out. I should probably be doing this with a shovel. Let's just get the bulk majority of it out of the way, and then we're gonna switch to a shovel. Because the last thing we want to do is rip the pipe from this way out of the ground, because then you snap it somewhere along the line and then you're doing more digging. We don't want to do that. It's kind of already what happened here. We yanked it a little bit this way, which means it broke somewhere around there, on top of obviously having the break over here. And you may be saying, Ryan, you didn't feel that in this dirt? Well, I felt something. There's also a tree right there with a lot of root. You're always playing a little bit of Russian roulette with whether that thing you're tugging on is a tree root or a pipe. And well, we lost this game of Russian roulette today. Now the annoying part is my nice clean cut that was gonna be right here is now gonna have a jog in it, or we cut it back to here. I like seeing a nice straight cut like you have right there. First things first, let's see if we can find the side that goes to the house, or the guest house, I should say. I hope we're even in the right spot. I mean, it's kind of pointing this way, but there's a chance it curved this way. So in the pig pen here, we've got a water shut off right here. So maybe it went this way, because obviously we got to connect that two lines. So maybe I'm digging in the completely wrong spot. If I were to draw a straight line, it would be about there. Oh, I heard something, guys. I heard something. There we go. All right, we have located her. Oh, no, there's another coupling there. Leads me to believe we're not the first. So our break's further back this way. Wonder if that was a 90, and 90 down, then 90 back over to get it down this slope. I guess I could have looked at that fitting a little better. That's probably a 90. This pipe just keeps going. I mean, we started digging there. We're here. We still have pipe in the ground, which means we yanked this thing from that way, this way, because obviously that doesn't quite mate up anymore. Curious as to where those 90s are. They gotta be somewhere right here. Oh, looks like this was also capped at one point. Huh, got an old cap here. None of this stuff looks very old. So now that we've unearthed this side, we now get to find that side. Apparently, broken PVC is kind of sharp. I didn't realize I was bleeding. So to dig up this side of the pipe, I've climbed up this hill here, and then I've used my blade back there, and that brings the back end up, which is one of the things I love about Mini X's is you can climb up a hill like this, you put your backfill blade down, and it brings the machine up. So we're sitting nice and level here, and I'm gonna dig this way and try to glide along top of that pipe. Maybe, I know I've yanked it out, so I don't know if this is exactly gonna work, versus trying to like hog this hill out sideways and then we yank more out. Being that we didn't find a T down there to over there, it leads me to believe that it's right here, which worries me that I'm gonna end up snapping the T to that spigot. Also, for how cold the morning was, the weather is like perfect right now. We got all the windows open, front glass open in the Mini X here. We're gonna try to be gentle. Much gentler than we were earlier. Oh, well, we found some of the old irrigation pipe that used to be around this property. And this gives you a better look at how the Mini X can kind of level itself using the backfill blade. And then this is all the irrigation line that was around the entire property. I mean, somebody originally spent a bunch of money. Most of the trees that you see here were planted, and they used this irrigation line to all of it. I mean, there was just sprinkler timers everywhere. The old pump house had a bunch of sprinkler timers in it. But over the years, because somebody didn't go deep with it, they have been ripped up by tractors. So pretty much around every single tree on the property, you're gonna see something like that, which is this irrigation line just sticking up out the ground. Let's just follow this for following's sake. It looks like it's deep. Let's see if we were in line with the house, about yonder. Oh, there it is. There it is. Dang thing was probably exposed the whole time. Well, we confirmed there is our T right here, which was running over to that spigot. So I believe that booger is dead now because, well, I don't have a 1" to 1" to 1/2 inch fitting. Man, we almost completely missed it with our trench here. So I guess I was on the right track. I'm gonna dig this up and I'm gonna drop the whole pipe. I'm gonna dig up underneath it and drop it down. And then we won't need those 90s anymore. And we'll be below where I want this grade to be. Oh, it looks like we got Papa Rhino pulling up almost in the nick of time. I mean, a little early. We still got a little bit of digging to do there, but of course, you know, rocking the strobes on the 450. Oh, I love that truck. I need to get me one of those. How good that thing looks. Well, the entire inspection crew has shown up to make sure, you know, everything's getting done right. Yep, you make sure. All right. Gone ahead and dug back here, and I think this is gonna end up working out really well to where we don't need any 90s. We're not gonna do some weird step up there. We're gonna be able to lay this pipe down, and then it'll tie directly into that other one. We did have enough fittings, and the proper fittings. We're kind of working on hooking some stuff together here to go from the 1" up to a 3/4 fitting to actually, yeah, to a 1/2 inch. And then we will tee up and we will tie that spigot back in. Since we have it, we might as well use it until we come in and come up with the master plan for this area. So we've got all the parts over here getting cleaned. And then we've got one of my favorite Milwaukee tools here, the Milwaukee PVC cutter. This thing is awesome for getting down into holes like this, instead of having to get down there with the ratcheting cutters. And the good thing is pretty much all the dirt that got in there is stuck in here. Hey. Apparently the donkeys are inspecting the couplings over there. We'll cut this end off. And then, being that we dug back so far, we might have enough like spring in the pipe here that we can lift it up and then come back down on a coupling or on the T. That way we don't need to use a slip fix coupler, which is, this is a slip fix coupler. So basically, if you have two pieces of pipe like this in a hole and you have dirt right here and right here, there's just no way to connect these, if that makes sense. So basically what a slip fix coupler is it's an adjustable coupler. So you can get it on one side in your hole and then bring this pipe in with another coupling right here. These things are game changers when it comes to fixing and repairing stuff that you don't have access to, where you can actually dig it up far enough. Basically what my plan is now that we've dug it back so far is we're going to take one pipe, put a coupling on, raise them both up, and then as we come down, they are going to connect. But we are going to keep this handy because these are always good to have. Get our pipe all cleaned off. We're actually going to cut it back a little bit further. We've got some glue on there. We don't want that getting in the way. So we've got us a 1" to 3/4 threaded, I guess, reducer. And then from there, we've got a 3/4 threaded to 1/2" reducer. That's how we're gonna get up to that 1/2". Now the only issue is I can't find any 1/2" PVC out here. I don't use it for anything other than, I guess, the odd repair. I don't know if this is gonna be successful. We might just have to use some of the old stuff, stub this up, cap it for now. That way the tennis can get some water back. There we go.
You gotta give us a little clean cut here. I don't like this, that clean.
So see guys, this is why you use Schedule 40 PVC, not the cheaper crap. This thin wall stuff sucks. Here's your difference between Schedule 40 and this old crap. Granted, this is old, but Schedule 40 typically doesn't crack like this does when we try to cut it, unless it's been left out in the sun forever.
Get us up.
Nope, it's not going on. The pipe is all back together. It's a little hokey right here, I'm not gonna lie. And I'm sure a lot of you are gonna freak out that I didn't use primer. And well, I thought I had primer out here. I didn't. I'd still be willing to bet that's gonna hold just fine. We'll see. I'm gonna let it dry extra long because we do have a little bit of tension on it now that we are kind of sloping her down from that point over there. Let her harden up here for a minute, and then we'll crank the water on and see what happens. While we wait to let that cure, let's get a little check over here on Abel and Tava. Looks like progress is good on getting the brown coat on there. Tava's almost got the entire inside done. Fortunately, I don't get to hang around all day today because we have an event we have to go to. So basically, I'm gonna have enough time to get that water line turned back on, buried, probably finish the excavation work that I wanted to do, and then we're gonna have to leave. Now, before we turn the water line back on, I'm going to put that right there, and then we'll crack this spigot. That way, we don't have a bunch of pressure hammering on those couplings. Let's go slowly turn the water on and see what happens. All right, a little inspection. So far, so good. Don't feel any water coming out anywhere. Now we're gonna leave this connection open because that's the one that worries me just a little bit. And we don't really need to backfill that in order to get my original plan for today done here. We'll just fill this back in and then start doing my cut back here. Maybe I'll take it a little bit further now that I know where all these pipes are. I might be onto something there. Maybe we'll take it a little bit further now. All right, so this spigot is turned sideways. Well, you kind of have to turn it to get to use it, but then it loosens up that fitting right there, which is not good. One thing we don't lack out here is water pressure. We got a lot of that. Tighten her down, and then we tighten that, that fitting right there. Okay guys, well, we've got about as far as I can get today. Again, we gotta go to an event right now. Look at how much wider this is. When we started today, the dirt was probably about right there, and we only had that width to get in here. Now we've got all the way out here. I think honestly breaking that pipe was a blessing because it gave me the confidence to cut back even further versus me trying to be conservative and not cut the hillside all the way back out that way. And now, one thing I didn't even really think about is it gives me a nice gradual road up to the animal pens up there. Whereas normally we either got to come in from way down there and try and come all the way up around, or what we typically do is we'll go all the way around the back side of the guest house, past the chicken coop, come back over this way. So this will be nice to have a nice straight shot. I still got to work on that transition a little bit over there, but so far she's looking really good. Now I personally like to leave track marks and stuff. I think it looks really cool. I like track marks on my dirt, not my women though. I feel like I'm just entertaining myself today with these stupid jokes. It's about as far as we're gonna get. We'll finish backfilling this, figuring this out tomorrow when we have a little bit more time, and then we'll give you guys an update on Abel and Chava and all that. But for now, I am already running just a little bit late. So see you guys in the morning.
Damn. Yeah. Yeah.